James Joyce. Joyce was born in Dublin in 1882. He was educated at a Jesuit school. He studied modern languages. He traveled to Paris. Then he married Nora Barnacle. They moved to Trieste. He got a job teaching English. He made friends with Italo Svevo. He and Nora had 2 kids, Giorgio and Lucia. They moved to Zurich when World War I broke out. He died in Zurich. Ireland was the center of paralysis. Irish people were passive, unwilling or unable to rebel against the British rule. Dubliners is a collection of 15 short stories about people living in Dublin: clerks, traders, shop assistants, common people, lower middle class Dubliners who were oppressed by British cultural imperialism, by economic problems, by moral constraints linked to religion, politics and culture. The dominant theme of the 15 short stories is the failure to find a way out of the paralysis. Each short story opens in medias res, when a turning point is going to occur in the life of the protagonist. This critical moment is called an epiphany. An epiphany is the sudden manifestation of a hidden or removed truth, a fear, a secret wish. It is a spiritual revelation caused by an external object, an unexpected situation, a song, an image. After the epiphany, the character changes his understanding of himself and the reality around him. Evelyn, that is, little Eve, unable to choose, unlike Eve, a victim rather than a sinner. The story of a young woman abused by her alcoholic father. She has the chance to leave to Buenos Aires with her boyfriend Frank, but she hears a song that reminds her of the melody she heard on the day of her mother's death. Evelyn promised her mother to look after the house and keep the family together. At the dock, where she and Frank are about to embark, Evelyn decides not to leave. Evelyn is paralyzed in her horrible life. The Dead. Gabriel Conroy is a college professor and a literary critic. He embodies what Joyce would have been if he had not escaped Dublin. Gabriel and Greta, his wife, are at a Christmas party at Gabriel's aunt's, 3 unmarried women. On that night, Greta hears a song that reminds her about a guy, Michael Fury, who used to sing it and who died for her love when he was 17. Greta seems to be very distant and moved. She is still thinking about that song and that boy. Gabriel asked her, "What did he die of?" "I think he died for me." Greta's answer is a real epiphany for Gabriel. He has never had anything or anyone to live or to die for. His life suddenly appears to him for what it is: empty, meaningless, purposeless. Michael is the only character who dies in the story, but he proves to be the only person who has truly lived. The final scene, the snow falling, proves that it is impossible to distinguish the town from the graveyard, that is, the living from the dead. A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man is an autobiographical story of Stephen Dedalus, a young Irish writer that is Joyce's fictional double. He is a rebel against his family, his religion, his nation. Non serviam, that is, I will not serve, is his motto, the phrase which Lucifer uttered when he rejected God. Stephen is the first Christian martyr, stoned to death for preaching. Dedalus escaped the labyrinth using wax wings. And Stephen is a martyr for art. He goes on a voluntary exile to France to break the rules and live his life as an artist. In Ulysses, Joyce's masterpiece, Stephen Dedalus returns to Dublin. He has failed as an artist. Now he is only a simple teacher. The story is set in Dublin on a single day, June the 16th, 1904. Stephen has lost his father figure. Simon Dedalus has cut him out of his life. Another Dubliner, Leopold Bloom, a 38-year-old advertising canvasser, son of a Hungarian Jew, suffers from two emotional crises: the loss of his father and of his son, and the infidelity of his wife, Molly Bloom. Stephen, Leopold and Molly correspond to Telemachus, Ulysses and his faithful wife Penelope. According to the mythical method, the 20th century versions of Homer's characters reveal the clash between a mythical, meaningful, ordered past and a fragmented, meaningless present. Joyce used the myth. He made a constant parallel between antiquity and present time. Every character, every episode is linked to the Odyssey. It was the only way of giving shape and meaning to the immense panorama of futility and anarchy which is contemporary history. This is a quotation from T.S. Eliot, Ulysses, Order and Myth. The stream of consciousness technique describes the mental process made of memories, dreams, impressions, sensations, intuitions. It consists of symbols, associations of ideas, images and memories flowing freely. The features of the interior monologue are: it is in first person, sudden shifts from thought to thought, no connection, no intervention of the ordering mind of the narrator, direct access to the mind of the character, thoughts, ideas, feelings at a pre-speech level. Modernists felt that their writing should mirror their fractured and chaotic words. Fragmentation implies a disordered lack of meaning, which no omniscient authorial voice can solve. The The stream of consciousness portrays a character's thought processes in a loose interior monologue, depicted as they flow in the mind. It lacks punctuation and syntax. Free association is a process which is apparently random. Data are collected and connected in the unconscious, subconscious, and pre-conscious mind. The stream of consciousness is the intersection of psychology, investigation of consciousness as elaborated by Freud and Jung, of philosophy, the subjective perception of time, Bergson,